はい、お待たせしました。AGDQ お楽しみいただいておりますでしょうか。はい、続いてのタイトルは、スーパードンキーコング3、カテゴリー Any% レースになります。はい、こちらのタイトルですね。ゲームが始まりましたらですね、走者の希望により、司会進行及び解説抜きでお送りいたします。本番中は基本的に本家の音声及びゲームの音声のみ流れます。ご了承の上、ご覧くださいませ。はい、ではですね、ゲーム画面が表示されるまでの間ですね、今回のイベントの概要の方を読み上げさせてくださいませ。現在、ジャパニーズリストリームでは、オーサムゲームズダンクリック2013の様子を日本語、公認で日本語ミラー配信しております。AGDQ2023 はゲームズダンクイックのチャンネルで行われるプリベントキャンサーファウンデーションを支援するオンラインチャリティー RTA イベントです。今回の寄付先であるプリベントキャンサーファウンデーションはアメリカに本拠地を置く慈善団体で、がんの早期発見や予防を通じてあらゆる人の命を救うことを使命としております。特定のゲームには、ちょっとゲームの画面が途中ですが来てしまいますかね。
I just want to give you an update on some of our incentives by way of a couple of generous donations.
まだかかりそうなので、もうちょっと読み上げさせていただきます。特定のゲームに関しては、寄付と関連して高難易度の変更やエンディングの選択などが予定されており、各項目ごとに設定された目標寄付金額を達成された際に行われます。また、寄付金額を表に見立てたビットウォーによってキャラクター名や選択肢が決定されることもあります。寄付額に関する URL は、寄付額に対する報酬は URL からご確認できますので、ご興味のある方はぜひチェックしてくださいませ。
8300 out of 10,000 for the Bakamitai performance. And we are at about 13%, 3,270 out of 30,000 on the Superboss Showcase. You're making great time.
こちら URL になります。イベントは9日、そうですね、先ほど始まったばかりですが、15日の午後3時頃まで24時間昼夜問わず開催されます。では、こちらはですね、ファンゲーマーというサイトで購入できる GDQ 公式グッズになりますね。こちらのグッズを購入することでも寄付につながります。もしよろしければ寄付の方してみてもいかがでしょうか。
For all of those games and their Games Done Quick lineup. As soon as I'm done hosting for the evening for me, I'm going to go over to fangamer.com/GDQ and have a look. And rest assured that sales of GDQ merch
こちらのリンクからファンゲーマーのサイトに飛ぶことができます。
Ease and pleasure knowing that you are supporting a great cause. And hey, keep in mind, speedrunning and GDQ isn't limited to just AGDQ and SGDQ. You can watch GDQ.
こちらはですね、GDQ のチャンネルで定期的に配信される GDQ ホットフィックスという、イベントというか企画のお話ですかね。ご興味がある方はこちらもぜひご覧くださいませ。
shows off communities and speedrunnings that are sometimes overlooked during marathons and elevates speedrunners year-round. We have shows for all interests, including ones that can help you find new games, teach you how to speedrun, and shows focused on more niche parts of speedrunning like randomizers. We also have special events. Some of our shows are on every other Tuesday, Random Number Generation and Aimbot. showing off games with RNG sections and FPS games. So feel free to tune in, give us that Twitch Prime subscription if you have it available to support our events during January. That will go to help defray costs for Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 Online, things like the hotel cancellation. But if you stay subscribed during Hotfix events, that helps support ongoing GDQ operations. Now I hear we've got 3 tickets to one of the funkiest destinations in the Northern Hemisphere. So in just a little bit, we'll be heading off to our DKC3 Any Race. But until that time, I am happy to be here with you to read more donations. $15 from Quivico, who says, glad to be able to watch another AGDQ, and thanks to Mike Uyama and all the staff for putting the event on. Thank you, Quivico, and thank you to Mike and everyone working behind the scenes. We have a $200 anonymous donation with no comment, but whose generosity speaks volumes, and $200 from Yuhu, who simply says, hype! $300 from Nuclear Cheese, with no donation comment. But again, it means the world to all of us and to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. $25 from Sarah Caesar, who simply says, less than 3. And $50 donated to the Prevent Cancer Foundation from Tyler1496, who says, excited for another awesome GDQ event. Here's to all the runners, volunteers, and event organizers working to raise money in support of the Prevent Cancer Foundation. While we have a minute, I'd love to highlight one of the other upcoming events that GDQ and associated friends have going on, and that is Frame Fatales. Mark your calendars. Frost Fatales 2023, GDQ's next all-women charity speedrunning event, is coming up on February 26th through March 4th. The Frame Fatales community will be raising money for charity and spotlighting the talented women in speedrunning. For more information about Frame Fatales, go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales or do !FF in the chat. And if you are a woman interested in joining the FF community, DM @framefatales on Twitter or head over to the website.
はい、今来られた方もいらっしゃるかと思いますので、改めて続いてのタイトルのご紹介をさせていただきます。続いてのタイトルは、スーパードンキーコング3、カテゴリーは Any Race レースになります。こちらのタイトルは奏者さんのご意向により、解説及び司会進行は、解説、司会進行は抜きでお送りいたします。ご了承の上お楽しみくださいませ。
Yoshi, how you been? It's been a few months.
Yeah, it has. I'm doing really well. I'm really nervous, but I'm super excited to showcase this run tonight.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm gonna ask you the most standard question possible. I never asked you in person either. Like usually I do, so I'm surprised I didn't. So what actually made you pick up speedrunning?
Okay, so I think I saw one of the GDQs back in maybe 2015 or 2016, and I didn't really start until 2018. Back in January of 2018, I started with a hat.
現在はポケモン不思議のダンジョン空の探検隊を走られる奏者の方のインタビュー中でございます。
That is probably the Pokemon series that I have the least amount of experience in. So I'm actually entirely clueless on this run. So you want to give us a little bit of a preview of how this is going to go?
Absolutely. So Randomizer 10 Dungeon Blitz is probably the least known category of all time. Unless you're familiar with the community, it's like this very niche thing that became pretty much a big deal. Mystery Dungeon in general is a really awesome series. So the run that we're doing is a randomizer, but it's not like in your traditional randomizer sense. You don't have like checks or anything. We mess with the game that we're playing. So for example, the starters we have are random. The items we find in dungeons are random. Even the way the dungeons themselves are generated is random, which I think is really, really cool.
Well, you sounded excited when you talked about the generation of the dungeons. So take it away.
Absolutely.
I'm curious.
Okay. So it's more of...
I can hear the joy in your voice.
It's more of a subtle thing, because you could totally play this randomizer and not pay attention to this at all and still get through it just fine. But one of the really cool details of this run is that there's basically an element of algorithm recognition. There's all of these different patterns for like ways the dungeons can be generated. For example, there's a pattern for probably one of the most hated layouts of all times called Crossroads. Strife in the run is going to disagree with me and say it's a ladder layout. It's basically you have rooms on all of the outer circle, except for the corners, and then a bunch of hallways in the middle. You've got a ton of layouts like that. For example, there's a plus layout, which is just like 5 rooms in a plus shape. You've got some that are like a horizontal line. And recognizing all of these different layouts is a really good skill to have in your tool set as a PMD runner.
I honestly didn't realize that there are that many possible layouts. I knew that, stuff was like generated, but I didn't realize that it went to this kind of detail. What is probably the biggest difference in terms of approach for a run like this compared to just doing a vanilla run of PMD?
So the randomizer portion is so the layout generation part that I talked about. So for a vanilla run, all of the layout types would be fixed. So obviously the dungeons are still random, but like the type of pattern that you'll see for a particular floor is always going to be the same. For randomizer run, all of the algorithm settings are totally randomized, which, fits the name, but it makes it fun because it's all about identification. Like you get into a floor and in that split second, you can try and figure out what type of algorithm am I in right at this moment and what is this floor going to look like?
So what is probably the scariest thing that you can experience in your run tonight?
Well, it depends, because it's really the fear of the unknown. You never know what you're going to get into until you get into a new run. Usually the scary thing is going to be something has a one-hit KO move out of nowhere.
Okay.
But we try to mitigate that by having a lot of safety items. Like the item generation is really about giving a lot of variation in strategy and like ways you can like fix a problem if you run into something. It's all about having options.
Well, cool. I look forward to seeing the run. Anyone who's curious in chat on when the run's going to be, it's in a little under 3 hours from now. It's listed at 11:44 p.m. Eastern right now, but you never know with schedules. But thanks so much, Yoshi, for taking the time to talk with me. It's always a treat to talk, and good luck on your run.
Thank you.
We'll see you all later, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much for that, Keys and Yoshi Master. I am absolutely looking forward to that. In case it didn't come across before, I absolutely love mystery dungeon style games. Things like what is it? The Tower of Fate is one that some of you may know that came out on Vita some years ago and reemerged on Steam a little bit back. But yeah, I will absolutely stay up a little bit past my bedtime on a Monday morning to watch that. Let's see where we're at right now. We are at $115,573. And as Keith said, that Pokemon Mystery Dungeon run starts in just a couple of hours. What do you think, chat? Can we get up to 150,000 by the time that run is through? I think we can. Especially if we have the support of folks like Corduroy, who donates $25 and says, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky is one of my favorite games ever, and I'm beyond thrilled to see it represented later tonight. I might have to pull up my DS Lite and play it again soon. And Umbra Witcher, who sends in $50 to the Prevent Cancer Foundation saying, love that Cuphead run and have DKC3 and Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes coming up. Thanks for running this event again. It is our sincere pleasure, and thank you very much for your generosity. Verxel sends in $25, simply saying, "Oh, banana." Always a pleasure to be able to do that. Thank you very much. And $50 from Bruno Fightmaster, who says, AGDQ, the best time of the year. That Cuphead run was amazing, and I bet it's only going to get better from here. Put this towards some dulcet tones from Kiryu and Baka Mitai. We will certainly do that for you. Thank you so much. As we're getting our DKC3 flight off the ground, let's talk a little bit about the prizes that are available right now. You heard me say, "Oh, banana," just a moment ago, and that is one of our prizes, a banana scented candle from Retro Flame, who also provided a Wumpa fruit earlier in the marathon. That is a $5 minimum donation. If you liked the Cuphead run, we have several different prizes from the Cala Maria boss fight, an acrylic painting from KP Art at a $15 minimum donation.
今現在ですね、ビットの方で、龍が如く極みのビットの方でですね、多分ゲームクリア後にバカみたいをカラオケで披露するというビットが行われているようですね。
There are three of them that I'm looking at right now. A Fallout AER-9 laser rifle, which I believe is the one from the Fallout 4 era, which has the under-barrel stock, so you could get a nice proper grip on it from Vulpin Props and Cute Monster Props for a $200 cumulative donation total throughout the marathon. A Skytech Gaming Azure Gaming PC. As somebody who works in IT for a living, I can tell you that a 12600K 10-core processor and an RTX 3060 Ti with 16 gigs of RAM will do you very well for 1080p gaming at high refresh rates or 1440p 60. And if none of that means anything to you, just know that it is a great gaming PC, and that will be at another $200 cumulative total donation from you throughout the marathon across the entire week. So if you are looking to get your game on and that is something you can do, it is a great opportunity. And of course, heroic replicas coming through once again with the Hylian shield and a choice of additional replica item. Everything from the Legend of Zelda Master Sword, a Zora electric guitar or bass, Sly Cooper's cane, the ancient sword from Shadow of the Colossus, Lucina's falcon from Fire Emblem, the Megaton hammer from Ocarina of Time, the gilded sword from Majora's Mask, the goddess sword from Skyward Sword, the Link to the Past Master Sword, the Chris sword from the Zelda animated series, if you really want to get out there with it. I love it. The Sword of Omens from Thundercats, the Sword of Power from He-Man, the Buster Sword. It includes 5 socketable materia orbs, if you can carry that much. And the Satisfactory Xeno Basher. That is the Hylian shield and any one of those 15 items as your second prize for a $200 cumulative donation. We have a lot of bid wars open and active for our Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky run coming up. Name the lead Pokemon. Currently showing lead donations at Mr. Rogers at $848, Beans at $670, and a little bit further behind, Arvin and Skittles at $190 and $85. But absolutely nothing has been decided yet on that one, nor for the partner Pokemon. Dad at $589.50, Martin at $185, and Chat, you yourselves are in the running to be the partner Pokemon at $176. We've got people absolutely showing their love for the games, for the prizes. $25 donated from Weasel with the comment, "The Shaman plushie was so cute, my son insisted we donate. So here's the first for the marathon." Thank you so much. $10 from Hydro Pump, who says, "Cancer? That's bananas. Here's a donation with no monkey business involved." Oh, I appreciate that. That is a very big move from you. And we appreciate it. Now, Cedar is getting controversial. $15 from them, who says, just so you all know, the best animal is the cheetah. There is no debate. I'm not sure what to make of that, but we appreciate your generosity. Thank you very much. Bag of Soup is helping us move towards the Portal bonus game with $25 and $25 towards Portal. Short, sweet, and to the point. Thank you very much for your donation. I think this one might be left over from Cuphead. Pete the Panda donates $25 and literally writes, ad-lib an old-timey trumpet solo here. I'm afraid I may not have my spit valve ready for me, but thank you so much for your generosity and for a good laugh. $5 from Huge Lag, who tells us that Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is a series that's close to my heart. I'm looking forward to seeing the randomizer. P.S. My favorite Pokemon is Maractus. It's a good choice. Can't say no to that. AGDQ2023 Online would not be possible without the help of a lot of amazing partners, including but not limited to Humble Bundle. Their monthly membership and Level Up and Learn communication and meditation game bundles are benefiting the exact opposite. They're benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation for the month of January. Be sure to check them out at humblebundle.com. Humble Bundle's January Choice membership includes Doom Eternal and Tribes of Midgard. If you like Doom runs, you absolutely should get in on that. And check out Aimbot, like I mentioned earlier, with the Emerlin and friends running a lot of great FPS games. You know, I've talked about our sponsors, I've talked about our donators, and your incredible generosity from all of you, every group I've mentioned. But most important, I would say, is the charity that we're raising money for today and this week, and that is the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Founded in 1985, the Prevent Cancer Foundation is a US-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection, by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts. You can find out more information about PCF at preventcancer.org. A little voice in my ear has told me to check the incentives, and that shows me that we are 90% of the way to the Yakuza Kiwami karaoke performance. $9,042 out of $10,000, chat. Keep it up. I am impressed. I'm not surprised, but I am impressed. Now, chat, I know it kind of looks like the Kremlings have gotten into the system, but please know that the tech crew is working on it. They are doing a fantastic job. I've been getting updates. We're going to be good to go just as soon as we can be. So while we wait on that, I would love to read out more donations from you generous, cute chatters. $50 from Lady Harmon, who says, it's Christmas morning, circa late 90s, and you and your siblings are crowded around the TV playing DKC3, which you just received that morning from Santa. Those were the good old days. Now, 20-ish years later, watching someone else destroy the game you could barely play at 6 years old. Love GDQ and go runners. Yep, we absolutely have that to look forward to in just a few minutes. Rystar2 has sent in $25 and says, shout out to the marble with the screaming Kong inside. I love it. We love our mixed metaphor jokes, don't we? It's just so absurd I couldn't help but laugh. Autumn has a pun time ready. A pun time ready for us. The $5 donation comment reads, "Pun time, pun time. How do you kill a circus? You go for the juggler." Amazing schedule this year. Good luck, runners. You're amazing. Ravanan with a $50 haiku donation. A haiku. Donkey Kong, go forth. Gorilla like banana. Quoth. Oh, banana. Truly, sage words of wisdom to reflect on. Thank you very much. April has sent us $20 and says, I'm so happy I can finally donate this year. Lots of love to AGDQ and Prevent Cancer Foundation. Right back at you, April. Thank you. The friendly voices in my ear and on my TV screen say that while the SSX extra course was met a while ago, thanks to your generosity, and we'll be looking forward to seeing that wide white field of the Uncharted bonus track, if I recall properly what that's called, we do also have a character choice incentive that is almost tied up right now. Zoe is currently out at front at $125, but Cowrie is right behind at $112, and then Mac and Elise at $35 and $25 respectively. So if you want to see your favorite shredder hit the slopes, then now is a perfect time to get those donations in. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for bearing with us. I hear it is time for a race, a chase, a bramblin' scramble to stop the chaos of the Kremlings in a three-way any percent race of Donkey Kong Country 3 with Laugh, Shaaf, and Blue Pen 49. Let's do it.
All right, everyone. Hello and welcome. My name is Void, and this is most likely going to be the highest level of Donkey Kong Country 3 race that you've ever seen on Games Done Quick. This is going to be really awesome. I hope you guys are excited for this one. We have Bluepen, Laugh, and Shaaf. They're all very talented, very good at the game. And yeah, we should get this one started. So hopefully all the runners are ready to go. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we go. The first things first, what you want to do is skip Wrinkly. The game essentially forces you to go into the Wrinkly safe cave at the start of the run, but you can just simply hold left and B and get out of there without having to go through the mandatory saving cutscene. So onto the first world. So real quick about the early game of Donkey Kong Country 3, you have warp barrels scattered across the first 2 worlds, and these are the fastest intended way of clearing the stages of the early game, and all 3 runners actually went for a strategy. We call it the 2-1 jump at the start of the first level. More 2-1 jumps will be involved later on. I'll be pointing them out at that time, but you can essentially classify them as double frame perfect tricks for all intents and purposes. But yeah, there will be a lot of warp barreling around for the start of the game, so I think you guys have time for 1 or 2 quick donations as a result.
Certainly. Wubsparse sends in $25 with a water check. Make sure you all stay hydrated, and let's go beans. And Dr. Abyss donates $50 and says, here's my last donation of the day. That Cuphead run was so wonderful, but it's time to stop monkeying around or you might slip on a banana peel in Donkey Kong Country 3. And then you might say, oh, banana. Putting this towards the Spider-Verse costume in Miles Morales. Thank you both.
Something worth noting that happened in the last level, that was pretty much the intended way of seeing Kiddy Kong's water bounce mechanic. We're also going to see that a little later, but yeah, just about to get to the first boss of the run, Belcha, and ideally, what you want to do with Belcha is do a 2-cycle. We're going to be putting the beetles that Belcha spit into his mouth, and he's going to give us some nice and clean burps. Little team throw strat right there to save a little bit of time, and gonna make sure here at the end of the fight to not actually collect the DK coin on the same frame as you land on Belcha, otherwise you can soft lock your game, and you do not want that to happen on marathon runs, that's for sure. Alright, so coming up in this stage, we actually have a vertical zip we're gonna be seeing. This one saves about 4 seconds. And the way it works is you want to have your team throw interrupted by bouncing on an enemy. And what this does after that is it gives you control of both Kongs, at which point what you want to do is push one of them off screen, and for whatever reason afterwards magic happens and you can end up saving a bunch of time in different locations in the game. This one saves a little bit, pretty useful, especially considering how tight and precise the early game can be. There's really not like a lot of room for improvement or error. The game is really going to be picking up as soon as we finish this world, and the problem with this is obviously going to be the boss. The boss of World 2, Eric, is going to be pretty tricky, but these runners are so good. I do not expect them to have any problem with them. Yeah, more team throwing around. Get into the warp barrels. Yeah, there you go, Eric the Spider. Very clean first hit from Shaaf. So when you hit Eric from above, actually, it is, I want to say like pixel perfect, but it might not be quite accurate. In any case, it is extremely precise. So it saves a little bit of time to be able to hit Eric from above, and is not intended whatsoever. Yeah, very nice fight for all the runners. And now we're on to World 3. And like I said, World 3 is really where the run is going to be picking up. No more warp barrels and a lot more dangerous areas and strats that are going to be performed by the runners. And also worth mentioning, a lot of the levels in DKC3 have unique and interesting gimmicks to them. So for this level, Fireball Frenzy, this is the only level in the game that you will see these carbine enemies shooting what I can only presume to be cheese balls from the background. Very clean vertical rope climbing right there by both Shaaf and Laugh. And a nice B jump from both runners. Very good. Lupin just a little bit behind, coming up on the said B jump. Gets it as well. For the ending here, we're going to be taking a damage boost. Save a little bit of time. There you go. The damage boost serves two functions. First one, obviously, to save time, but the second one is ideally what you want to do is keep both of your Kongs until the very end of this world. The reason being, there are some areas and functions in this game that are faster to execute with only one Kong. Laugh opting out of that strategy. He's gonna grab the safety Kong. But both Bluepen and Shaaf gonna be rocking Dixie solo. And they will be maintaining solo Dixie until the end of World 5. Not World 5, sorry, World 3. Logi Labyrinth being the level in question. So for this level, some very minor optimizations that are done by all three runners. You want to either jump onto those pits or dismount those railings to save a little bit of time, which adds up throughout the course of this auto-scroller. This is the unfortunate part of the early game of DKC3. You have a lot of warp barrels at the start of the run, followed by a very tough level in Fireball Frenzy, followed by back-to-back auto-scrollers. So Ripsaw Rage, which that you are going to be seeing on the screen right now, is about a minute and a half of just watching the saw rise slowly.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's one of the more controversial levels in the game for a number of reasons, but if we've got time for donations...
You absolutely have time for donations. I was just about to point that out, so...
It's my pleasure. Merck's War donates $200 to the Prevent Cancer Foundation, saying, I've been watching since it was a small room with maybe 50 seats and a couch, and to see how you all have grown is amazing. Normally I can't afford a big donation, but I've had a good holiday season, and there's no better place to spend some Christmas cash than get in on all these awesome prizes and a great cause. Love you all, Merck's. And $25 from Laugh's brother Ryan, who says, growing up, we played Donkey Kong Country at our grandparents' house when we stayed the night. It's always been our favorite, and it is one of my most cherished memories. I still remember breaking out the old Super Nintendo and getting hyped to be Player 2. 20-some years later, and my brother is a top 3 runner in the world and is here at GDQ showing off his epic gamer skills for the whole world to see. Laugh, everyone watching back home couldn't be happier for you. Go quickly now and defeat the mysterious chaos. Love, your incredibly proud little bro.
You've got time for a few more.
Okay. Taco My Salad then sends in $10 to us and says donating to make sure that the airship percent run isn't a lie. And $20 from Dax Ossigator, who says, you know, someone earlier mentioned cheetahs being the best animal. I would like to respectfully disagree and say they are second to the true best animal, alligators. Good luck, runners, and let's beat cancer. We've got something really roiling beneath the surface. I'm surprised no one has said that apes or monkeys or, you know, Kitty and Dixie in particular are the best animals, but maybe that's still coming.
Yeah, it's all subjective, you know. But yeah, so here we are. We're done with the auto-scroller, and now we're entering Blazing Bazookas. And this is the main reason why you want to be solo Kong. Every time you enter a barrel that automatically shoots you out, it is actually slower to have both Kongs versus being solo Kong. You can lose like upwards of a second per barrel if you have both Kongs. So yeah, Laugh gonna be losing a bit of time compared to both Bluepen and Shaaf, but he has the upside of being much safer in his execution. Because you do not want to die in this level. This is one of the levels where the halfway barrel is actually out of the way, so... And it is a pretty long level, pretty long and pretty tough level. This is where they're both gonna actually regain their extra Kongs. So Logi Labyrinth is a pretty excruciating level. This is one of the levels where if you make a mistake, it's actually gonna cost you 3 times the amount of time that you're gonna lose in another level because everything is slowed down, low gravity. Right there, what you just saw on both Laugh and Shaaf's screens is a Just Defend that we call. Bluepen just also performed it very nice. You can actually trick the Crimp into taking damage from behind by pressing the opposite direction that you're moving in as you're about to roll through it. It's a neat way to gain speed in a level that lacks a lot of. Ooh, Bluepen taking an unfortunate death. Commentator's curse, by the way. He's gonna be making his way back shortly. Both Laugh and Shaaf got the B squeeze at the end of the level. Got a little bit more to navigate. But at the end, they're gonna go for a damage boost right there to set up their Kong order and also to just clear this final section of the level safely. Because they're about to perform arguably the hardest technique in this entire run. We call it Task Chaos, and it essentially involves this double frame perfect trick that I mentioned at the start of the run. They have to do it 4 times. So there's one from Shaaf. There's another one. There's a third one. I've just got one right there. And another one. We're doing very good. Doing very good right now in this fight. You want to do it 4 times, and then you have to sit through this cycle that Shaaf is currently watching. And then you can go for a damage boost right there. Again, the height required for the 6th and final hit. Very nice fight from Shaaf. Let's see how Blue Pen performs on Task Chaos. Got the first one. Got a backup for the second one. Very nice. Ooh, takes damage, unfortunately. So this is a killer, unfortunately losing a Kong early in the fight. You pretty much have to do the fight the intended way, which is unfortunate. But that's okay because the Great Equalizer is coming later in this run as Shaaf and Laugh are moving onto World 4, Cotton Top Cove, and Boss's Blockade is the first water stage in the run. It's actually a pretty nice one, and also like interestingly enough, at least in my personal opinion, a fun one to optimize. So the corners in the level are not what they seem, but you do want to swim in such a way that you want to cut them as closely as possible without bonking, and by doing so you can end up saving a lot more time than it seems. Raising the end right there. Doing a Kong swap to fix the order for the next stage. A lot of what makes this level interesting is not only the corner cutting, but also making sure that you can bypass the bosses in their respective cycles. Now Rocket Barrel Ride. Not too much to say about this stage. There are a couple damage boosts, but overall, this level is pretty easy. There are a couple tricky spots. But overall, not too bad, since there is a lot of just entering the barrel and waiting for the barrel to rise and then shoot you out of. There's going to be another damage boost come in on Shaaf's screen. Pretty much save a couple barrel shots and save some B cycles. Damage boosts are a very important part of the Donkey Kong Country 3 speedrun. They do save a lot of time over the course of the run. Another damage boost right there. This one also serving 2 functions. Firstly, obviously, to help with the barrel and B cycles and make them faster. And secondly, it is to reduce the lag in this stage, creeping clasps. If you do have both Kongs in this stage, it will create a pretty insane amount of lag. Lag that will lose you time. Like even just grabbing the halfway barrel that Shaaf did loses time and lag. Grabbing the barrel as I can only assume a safety. Luring the fish properly so that it does not damage you. Yeah, Laugh right there at the end. Barely too late to jump out of the water, takes damage, but since he had an extra Kong, he's able to make it out of there safely and onto the next stage. Gonna have to take a small detour right there to grab an extra Kong, because you do want to have Dixie in this stage and also for some damage boosts later on. Right there, a damage boost from Laugh. Fixes Kong order. And now back on track. Yeah, the gimmick of the stage, obviously those barrels, horizontal moving barrels that track your position. D-boost right there on Shaaf's screen, followed by grabbing a Kong and another D-boost. And we're out of here. Lupin slowly but surely making his way back. Starting the stage as Laugh and Shaaf are going into Fish Food Frenzy. So, speaking of gimmicks, this stage has one of the most obnoxious gimmicks in the entire run. This fish likes to eat fish, and he does not like to eat clams. If he eats clams, he's gonna get really angry at you. And also, he needs to eat fish at certain intervals. If you spend too long without feeding your fish, he's gonna get angry at you as well. So a lot of the movement in this level is about making sure that the fish eats what he needs to eat and does not eat the clams and damage you in a wrong spot. The thing also with the fish is that sometimes he likes to bounce. He just likes to leave the screen for whatever reason. So that's why you really want to have consistent movement throughout and make sure that he does not do something that you do not want him to do. Laugh first to leave the stage. And now we're on to Jar Jar Binks, the boss of World 4. You're actually fighting this boss as Ellie the Elephant. You want to spit water into his eyeballs whenever he reveals them after he's done doing his water gun spinning attack. The tighter the water gun hits from Ellie, the more time you save, obviously. Laugh is doing a really particular strat. Shaaf is doing it as well, where they want to position themselves really far to the left so that they can really optimize the damage dealt to Squirt. All right. Lupin about a minute behind both Laugh and Shaaf, but a lot of time to be made later in the run. Now we have both skis. We unlock World 5, so that's where we're gonna go. Turbo ski allows us to climb waterfalls. Very peculiar thing about DKC3 compared to DKC1 and DKC2, the overworld movement is actually relevant and needs to be practiced. And now Crevice Creepers. This level is extremely dangerous. You see those horizontal ropes again. Dixie climbs them quicker. So for as much as possible, the runners are going to be using Dixie throughout the stage. This is another level that is faster to do with only one Kong, but considering how difficult and dangerous this level is, I do not blame them for a second for grabbing a safety Kong and making their way through. All right, very nice. Oh, like I was saying, very dangerous stage. Fortunately, the death Blue Pen just took was right at the start of 5-1, so he's not going to lose too much time from that. But yeah, still going for the solo route through the stage. And on the Laugh and Shaaf screens, another auto-scroller, Tearaway Toboggan. The way to optimize the stage is you want to jump on some bees, you want to jump up and down the slopes to really maintain your momentum and really maximize the speed at which the sled travels for as much as possible. You actually have time to sneak in a quick donation if you want.
Definitely. Svider sends in $10 and says, "We've come here to throw barrels, watch speedruns, and fight cancer. And we're all out of barrels." Thank you very much. And Glenn with $50, who says, "Good luck to the racers. Very excited for this race. All three runners are incredibly skilled and dedicated, and I know it'll be a great show. As a friend of Laughs, it has been incredibly inspiring to watch him improve at the game in what feels like so little time. So once again, good luck, and remember to skip your snowman."
Which is coming up, by the way. Do not miss that. All right, barrel drop bounce. This level is actually pretty obnoxious. The hitboxes from those barrels falling down the waterfalls are not what they seem, but there are a lot of cool skips throughout this level that make use of the team throwing mechanic. This one coming up, very important. Saves about 20 seconds. We're gonna team throw up the barrel. Land on the one above it, and then team throw up the ledge, as you saw on Shaaf's screen. Having some issues with the skip, but made it out there safely. Laugh cruising, and he's now in Crackshot Croc. So the gimmick of the stage, you are Squitter the Spider. I hope there are Squitter fans in the chat room. Big fan of Squitter the Spider. This level pretty tough. They're gonna go for a very precise and technical route that involves a mechanic recently discovered in this game that makes it so that you can chain together those web platforms that Squitter creates. You can chain them very quickly. Normally, there is a cooldown that you have to wait before being able to shoot those platforms again. But by using this very special mechanic, they can actually just zoom through the stage. But this is a very dangerous level because obviously you commit to this technique, and if you mess it up, it can really kill you if you mess it up in a bad spot. Also, as you can see, these vats, these giant vats, they do not have collision in between them, so you can actually use that to your advantage and land there. And now for Lemguin Lunge, very tricky level. The Lemguins arguably have one of the worst hitboxes in this entire game, and you do take advantage of them in ways to gain a lot of speed, as you can see. As long as they're airborne, for the most part, you can roll through them. And this is precisely what they are going to do. Blue Pen coming up on the ending. of Crackshot Croc. Ooh, okay. Good save from him. All right, so Bleak skipped now. So this is our man. This is the great equalizer. There is a frame perfect audio only trick that you have to execute here. You want to press the pause button on the same frame as the game would kick you out of the fight. And Shaaf gets it first try. Very nice. That's very good from him. Laugh is on currently his third attempt. So yeah, what you want to do is you want to have Bleak damage you. And then as the fight kicks you out, you want to press start. And if you do it correctly, you can just skip the entire fight. And if you get it first try, it will save you a whole minute over doing the fight normally. If you can get it fourth try, which is what Laugh is currently attempting, and he gets it, very nice. You do break even with just doing Bleak normally. Now Bluepin is coming up on Bleak himself. Unfortunately, does not get it first try. Laugh and Shaaf are currently doing one of my favorite stages in the entire run, Buzzer Barrage. The collision of those walls and bees are actually not really lined up, so you can use that to your advantage and do some skips and also maneuver your parrot very nicely while doing so. There is a skip that Laugh is about to attempt in a little bit, where he's going to damage boost and go through this horseshoe-shaped section right here coming up. Get his Kong back so that he can perform yet another damage boost right here. Him through this section, damage boost again, get this hidden DK barrel to once again get to the end with the right Kong in front. And Bluepin finally got Bleak skip, and now is going to be making his way into 6-1. Bluepin tried to actually perform another pretty recently discovered technique called the barrel jump, where you basically want to grab your barrel, you want to jump and drop it at the same time, and after that you have one frame to do another jump and get extra height with it, and it will save you a little bit of time over breaking the barrel and having the team throw, which is what I think both Laugh and Shaaf did. And now they're actually on the longest but also final auto-scroller of this run, Confused Cliffs. And for this level, we actually call this level Burn Your Rope, and we like to give what we call the Burn Your Rope update when we are in this stage. So I'm gonna actually give you guys a Burn Your Rope update and ask you if you guys are enjoying this race and also enjoying games done quick so far. And I hope the answer is yes. And also, if the answer is yes, then please enjoy more donations from a T3.
Hey, I've been enjoying everything else about this run. Thank you very much, Void. And yeah, it'd be my pleasure. So we have our best animal conversation going on, getting a little bit heated. John sends in $5 and suggests no disrespect to cheetahs, but they're doomed to never receive the accolade of best animal because cheetahs never prosper. The Sound Defense chimes in again with $25, suggesting that the best animal is the polar bear. And Donkey Kong December donates $500. I don't think they're talking about the best animal, but their donation simply says, Donkey Kong December, Donkey Kong December, Donkey Kong December. Should we tell them that it's January? I feel like we shouldn't. Thank you very much. Pixelos donates $1,000 and says, I've never had the money to spare at previous events, but now I'm finally able to donate a big sum. Though cancer never affected me, it might in the future, and I wouldn't know it now. PCF is a great cause to donate to because not everyone can be as lucky as I am. Thank you to all the runners and helpers at AGDQ that make it possible. Greetings from Germany. Geo donates $10 to Prevent Cancer Foundation and says, can't believe when this started, I was starting high school and now I'm about to get my master's. Time flies. This event is always amazing. Keep up the great work. And Breezeby with a $10 donation with the comment, always love to see DKC at GDQ. Good luck runners, good luck commentary, and good luck chat on raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Thank you to everyone. Is it time for a Burn Your Rope update?
The Burn Your Rope update has been successful. Thank you very much for the donations. And now we are entering Floodlit Fish on left screen. This level actually doesn't seem like much. For a lot of people, all it seems is you just smash the Y button and launch with Ongar. Ongar is actually overpowered in this game. He virtually takes damage from nothing except from the clams on some parts of their animation when he's in his lunging animation. So it doesn't look like much, but this level is actually pretty tricky to optimize, and there is a significant amount of time that can be saved by just cutting corners properly, doing some movement that not necessarily all the other runners of this game might be doing, which these runners obviously are pros at. But they know what they're doing regarding the stage. Shaaf currently on Pothole Panic, another pretty fun stage to execute. The gimmick of the stage would be to use all of the animal buddies in the run, all 4 of them. The thing is you end up skipping both Ellie and Squitter because they are not required for the 90% run, and also they are pretty slow. But Shaaf is going to be doing a pretty nice water bounce maneuver here to get into this barrel quicker. Me talking about the water bounce from earlier this run finally paid off. And now another 2-1 jump spot. So this one saves about 10 seconds if you do it first try. Second try for Shaaf. Unfortunately, I jinxed the first try, but still very good. Now this is another stage with those horizontal ropes that Dixie is just so good at maneuvering. And Shaaf getting through the stage with solo Dixie, gonna be entering Barbos. Very nice second try from Laugh as well, getting the damage boost properly. Grabs the Kong for safety. And this fight is actually super sick. So this first phase has some RNG to it, but you can actually go for some really tight and fast hit depending on the RNG that you get. Shaaf didn't really get the best RNG on this first phase of Barbos, but was able to make it work. And right here, you can actually trick the missiles into hitting those clams quicker that are guarding Barbos' sides. Then 3 quick hits on this blind spot where you do not take damage, and there you go. So a very nice first phase right there, actually, on left screen. Now he's gonna go for the second phase. There's actually no collision inside Barbos. This is a actual sprite, so you can easily take advantage of that on phase 2. Blue pen coming up on the 2-1 jump. Let's see if he gets it first try. And he does. Nicely done. And now it's time for World 7, the culmination of the gimmicks that I guess the devs did not want anywhere else in the game. So we have really some some of the most gimmicks in this world, let me tell you. This stage, not too bad gimmick-wise. Conveyor Rope Clash is actually a pretty nice stage to both execute and optimize. I'm gonna be doing a damage boost right there, going to skip through this final section. And now Creepy Caverns. Creepy Caverns is actually the biggest point of RNG in this entire run. So these phantom barrels are pattern based, and the RNG is pretty much locked as soon as you enter the stage, and all you have to do really is hope that you do not get screwed over by a bad pattern. So right there, the barrel that Shaaf just got in, it can really mess you up if you get the bad RNG. Laugh actually gonna be going right there for an alternative strat to really mitigate the bad RNG that you can potentially get. Another one of those vertical zips that was talked about in 2-1 earlier this run. Lupin just entering World 7. Nicely done by Shaaf. Making it out of Creepy Caverns. And now this is the pièce de résistance. So Lightning Lookout. In terms of obnoxious gimmicks, this takes the cake. So you have this lightning, right? The lightning actually tracks your position in a very specific way that is not really easy to finesse around. So the runners really have to be careful and also like have really consistent movement in order to make sure to not get destroyed by the lightning. That was a really close hit by Shaaf, by the way. He was barely able to grab the barrel and make it through that middle section. He is safely right here. Another damage boost at the end. Nicely done. Laugh making his way across as well. Gonna be taking a D-boost there. So whenever you D-boost in Lightning Lookout, it actually resets the RNG, or not necessarily the RNG, but the position of the lightning, I should say. And you can actually sort of consistently route the stage through using that. And now onto Coin Dozer Clamor. The Coin Dozer hitboxes are actually... Let's just say that they're hitboxes, alright? You really want to land when the Coin Dozer is really, like, with his shield up, so that he does not knock you off. Otherwise, you can be in a world of trouble. Some Just the Fans from Laugh. Lupin currently making his way through Lightning Lookout. Worth noting that the first half of Lightning Lookout is even more dangerous on this route because you only have one Kong. Once you get to this part with the big booty birds, you can actually kind of, you know, drop a sigh of relief, because that is where the level actually not necessarily gets a little easier, but this is where the route gets normalized up until the halfway. And now we have Poisonous Pipeline on both Shaaf and Laugh screens. Shaaf with only one Kong, okay. That was really scary. Kitty's hitbox obviously a little larger than Dixie's, so yeah, navigating that part of the stage with only one Kong was very scary, very scary. The gimmick of this stage, the purple water makes it so that your left and right controls are reversed, so it can be pretty tough to navigate through the stage. But these gamers are pros, so they're making it. There you go, very nice. Now Shaaf is on the final boss. Laugh also just entering the final boss. Chaos is back, but not for long, because the true final boss, turns out, is K. Rool. Once again, he's back. Disguised as a mad scientist. And this fight has been super optimized over the last few years. This whole game really has been really optimized over the last years or so. A lot of really small time saves that add up throughout the course of the run. And this fight is really a big exhibit of really like the culmination of the work that has been put through by the runners of this game into finding new improvements and optimizations. So as you're about to see on Shaaf's screen right there, he's just gonna grab this barrel and then turn around and then throw it facing right so that it connects with K. Rool sooner. And that saves maybe like a second, but it is so incredibly hard and difficult to pull off, especially in a marathon setting. So props to him. Very nicely done. Now right here, gonna be performing task K. Rool. Very nice. You wanna grab the handle very precisely. About to happen on Laugh's screen, as Shaaf is about to end. He's on his final 3 hits. Time is coming up for him. It's the 3rd one, and time for Shaaf. Nice run to him. Laugh about to make it through the K. Rool fight as well. He's on his final 3 hits. Final 3 hits, definitely not a very big representation of how difficult the K. Rool fight is, but they can still easily go awry because K. Rool's fight. Time for Laugh. Nicely done by him. But yeah, as I was about to say, K. Rool's hitbox, not what it seems like, especially on the final phase. And now Blue Pen on the K. Rool fight as well. On the K. Rool phase of the K. Rool fight, I should say. So yeah, right there, as you saw, Blue Pen was able to grab the barrel facing left and throw it still facing left. And that makes it so that it connects with K. Rool a little bit sooner. And one of those very small optimizations that I've been mentioning earlier. Very nicely done. This is such a scary hit. Such a scary hit, and all 3 runners nailed it. Very, very good by them. Yeah, a jump right here. They grab the handle sooner and then use the barrel to damage K. Rool on the same cycle as you did spawn the barrel with. Last 3 hits for blue pin. And time.
GG's. Nice run to everyone involved.
Yep, very nicely done by them. And like I said, these 3 are some of the best DKC3 runners across the entire world. And yeah, give them a follow. Like, massive props to them for displaying this run at such a high level at Awesome Games Done Quick. Very awesome job. If you did like this run, this race, if you enjoyed what you saw and you are thinking to yourself, wait a second, what if I were to do that or try this out by myself? What if I were to maybe pick up speedrunning DKC on my own? Well, friends, I have the perfect resource to link you towards. DKCSpeedruns.com has all of the resources that you might want or need in order to pick up the DKC trilogy on the Super Nintendo. And I hope to see you guys pick it up and run. I would love to have you as a runner of these games, these amazing Super Nintendo games. We could always use more runners, and the community is great. The runners are great. It's just a great time. Like, please join the community. We would love to have you there, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon. Thank you for watching, and keep on rolling deep.
Absolutely, and thank you also to Void for the excellent, informative, and easy to understand commentary.
はい。でも素晴らしい走りでしたね。ただいまのタイトルはスーパードンキーコング3 2% レースでした。では続いての準備の方がございますので、一旦失礼いたします。
Speaking of Void, I was hoping to have the opportunity to read this out while the race was going on, but we just had too much action in there. But it is one specifically for them. Naimija donates $25 to the Prevent Cancer Foundation with greetings to Void from Quebec and good luck to the runners. Thank you very much, Naimija. And Hofum Nyama, that is the name, I believe I read that right, with a $100 donation saying, a tea tree is reading donations because I can't hear them because I am watching Snake on that ladder, and